Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Lozy PC and welcome back to the War in the Pacific play-by-email game against Invictus, where we have captured yet another territory in Malaya. The Imperial Japanese Army will not be stopped. Huzzah! Although that is a little bit more British than it is, Japanese war cries, but it's all fine. War cries, not war crimes there. So we are kind of in a intriguing battle in Sumatra, both air and land. In a way, the land battle hasn't really kicked off massively yet, but in regards to the air, there is bombers and fighters, and there's a lot going on. We've got submarines that are trying their best to attack Port Moresby, but they seem to be taking damage when doing so. So we will keep an eye on this. The I-122 is taking some significant damage here. Hopefully she hasn't sunk, but it's possible. So that's not good. Yeah, she took 6 hits. Possibly a big F there for the 122. Meanwhile, the Dutch subs still failed. Was that Dutch or is that an old American one? I can never remember. Still failed to sink the Arihasho, which we need to kind of keep an eye on because it's trying to limp its way back to Saigon. And I'm hoping it hasn't run out of fuel. We've got DMSs here that are kind of hanging around and not really doing a lot. They should be going up to Kuantan to get rid of the mines there. We did suggest sending them to Singapore, but I still don't know how I feel about that as an actual idea. So yeah, we'll see. Now, we are uploading over longer. It doesn't seem like there's any allied units here, which is good for us because it will allow us then to kind of dig in and start building Guadalcanal, as we kind of mentioned last time. So a little bit happening overnight this time. It'll be interesting to see what happens during the day. Fingers crossed nothing too bad for us is the usual thing at the moment. I mean, it's a weird one at the moment because I still think we have a lot of momentum, and I still think the momentum is carrying us. I think we've got plans to do things, which is good. But there has been a couple of battles, a couple of events, and a couple of kind of mistakes, arguably by me, that has kind of meant that, we have lost a little bit of that momentum, which is not great. But, one of those things we do have to unfortunately kind of deal with. Now, something I am going to start doing, I think, is try to bomb Clark Field a little bit more. I know they're probably dug in and it's probably not going to be super effective, but considering... Oh my god, fuck me, we just lost a 0 to a Buffalo. That's not good. Considering, the success our bombers are having in China, shifting them to Clark Field might just help us break Clark Field down. And even if it doesn't, they can maybe hit supplies, which, again, would be extremely useful, as it will kind of starve Clark Field out a bit quicker. This combat over Singapore, it is... we've sped through it. It was going seemingly pretty well for us. Yeah, more Buffaloes being destroyed. We are losing zeros, which is obviously never good. We obviously need to be careful in regards to that. But yeah, you can see kind of these sallies doing a good amount of damage in Kukong, and that's in rough terrain as well. So as I say, we'll kind of shift them to Clark Field and see what they can get from there. Again, the Allies are going to be dug in, so American troops and Philippine troops are going to be dug in, so it is going to be hard. But any casualties we can kind of get out of Clark Field, with our aircraft makes it a bit easier for us overall. Now, this is annoying because I thought I had this covered with aircraft, and we can see that we're taking significant casualties there. Yeah, very, very bad casualties. So not fun. That's almost 450 casualties in that one turn. Luckily, it's mostly disabled, but it's because they've got low supply and they're just not dug in or anything like that. Okay, more zeros over Singapore. I'm kind of hoping that Singapore is starting to get to the point of it having very little air defense left. I can't tell whether that is the case, but that's my kind of hope, that, it doesn't have a lot there. Now, this is bombing of troops heading from Mersing, and not doing a lot of damage. So it's a difficult one. It is a very difficult one. I mean, those troops in Oosthaven are absolutely getting battered, and we need to cover them with something. But it just doesn't seem to be happening. We'll double check what we've got going on down there. Ooh, fuck me. I hate it when I see, you know, patrol boats. Not patrol boats, sorry. Transport ships getting targeted by enemy submarines. Never fun. Never fun. We did manage to hit it once, so that's pretty good. Now then, that will be the end of the naval and air phases. This is bombardment attack at Clark Field. This is where we end up seeing, you know, hundreds of Japanese casualties still. I'm kind of surprised that our bloody, you know, what you call it is going to work. You know, our hospitals can work at this rate, because it's just mental. It is absolutely mental how much we are, you know, using and how much at the same time we are losing. See, 318 there. So even then, you know, silly numbers. And we're not doing the damage I want us to be doing to the Allies, even though we have some bigger guns there. Shock attack at Tarakan, still not breaking through. And a shock attack at Brunei. Please just give me something to say we've captured. You know, we've done something right. Please. Please, 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 please. As you can tell, it does not seem to be happening. And it's frustrating. You know, that's all I want. That little bit of success. Just keep our morale going. Because, you know, as I say, momentum is super important, but not kind of... We're almost being limited, and you know, we're kind of being stuck at key points. And I was worried about this. I didn't want this to happen at all. But it does seem to be something that has massively kind of affected us. Now, if we go to assault value, we still have decent assault values for a lot of these troops. A lot of them are still kind of planning for Manila. Like, I'm wondering, do we, like, risk an all-out attack? Because I think the big... Well, no, we don't. That's a silly idea. What we do is we do what we said we were going to do, which was we shift these Betty bombers to attacking Clark Field. Now, they're not flying at extended range. That's good. So we set that for all Betty bombers. We'll set it for all level bombers as well, but we probably need to move some of the others, particularly the kind of Lilies and things like that, because I don't think... They can reach it. But they're going to be reaching it, and if we look at aircraft data, they're only going to be dropping 2 100-gram bombs instead of 4 100-gram bombs, so we're limiting them quite significantly. But the problem is our airfields are not quite up to scratch just yet. They're not as big as they need to be. Now, something that I am waiting for is, are you moving, select destination, none. Move to Shanghai, please. So we're going to move these regiments, these raiding regiments. These are guys who are going to go to Burma because we've got plans and ideas to take place in Burma. How is our destroyers getting on? They're almost home. Good. These are still not being refueled. Come on. It's the fucking oilers taking forever. Damn. And we've got fucking system damage to our ships there, and we don't have any other oilers about. I've massively fucked this places. There are some serious fuck-ups that have taken place. You know, excuse my French, but there genuinely has been some massive fuck-ups. And it's one of those things of, like, when you have those kind of massive cock-ups, you kind of go, well, pissed, you know, am I going to actually succeed with this? Because this is not, you know, Invictus is not an easy opponent. He's a very good opponent and very difficult. But yeah, you know, I look at this and I'm thinking, I may have already fucked this, you know, now. Which is not good. You know, I don't want to be thinking that this early, but who knows? Who knows? Now then, units are moving down. Let us again strat move and move everything to Malacca. And then we can maybe get people out and kind of marching by foot. How is our fast transports doing? Did they get supplies there? It doesn't look like they did. I don't know if I want it on P, but let's try and make sure they're still getting that over. Now, I thought I moved a bunch of planes over there. Clearly I did not. I know that they don't have... They do have a naval air company there. Although the aviation support is 1. Which is not very good. Okay, so what could I send down there, I wonder? So this is the kind of problem with these units. Because they've got so little supply and they're getting absolutely bombed to oblivion, we're losing a lot from them. Which is not very good. What could I send? What could I send? I could send Nates to go and kind of frustrate the enemy. It won't be amazing, but it will be better than nothing. Let's take them off long-range cap. Transfer to base. Just Tavern. Again, it's not going to be great. Unless... Did I not send... Hold on. Okay, Buffalo ones, according to that, they lost 13. I was just kind of wondering to make sure we hadn't lost zeros, because I thought we'd sent some zeros over there, but I might be going insane. It's one of those things that you sometimes like, did I do something here, or did I not do something, and I'm an idiot? I'm going to go with the latter on this one. I'm an idiot, that I thought I did something, but I didn't. Okay, elsewhere things are looking relatively okay. What is that doing? Returning back to Babladalb. Okay. We do seem to be capturing, you know, New Guinea, which is good. Now, these guys should just capture longer. We'll see what takes place after that. Okay. Now then, this should hopefully put even more mines in Rabul. There's currently 185, which I'm not particularly keen with. The I-122 is still alive. In fact, the I-122 has barely taken any damage according to this. That is intriguing. I thought she'd taken a lot more damage. Now, there is a lot of APs moving there, and I'm wondering, should we kind of do a bit of a surprise hit with the Joho and the Hosho, you know, could be a little bit of almost a panic. You know, not necessarily a panic, but maybe kind of freak Invictus into thinking, oh fuck, what was, you know, what was that? And also kind of gives us a bit more of a sighting on what is going on elsewhere, because obviously that's extremely useful. Okay, Wake Island, we need some naval support over there. That should be on the way. Let's have a look at China, see what the situation is up here. We're still on the move, is basically the situation there. There's a lot of troops here. Is this Invictus attacking me, or is this me attacking Invictus? It looks like it's him attacking me, because we already control this base. Interesting. There's quite a lot of Chinese units there that have kind of just appeared almost out of nowhere. Let me see if I cannot... these are attached to the Mongol garrison, which is slightly annoying. Can I remove them? I can. I can shift them to maybe the kind of North China area, although it's 423 points. I kind of want to save that. I can strap move them though, so let us strap move them to tier 1, and let's kind of move 2 units down there. Just to kind of, again, you know, reinforce this sector in the kind of highlands of China, where it does seem that Invictus is kind of getting a bit old with things. We're going to try a deliberate attack here. Again, I know it's not in the best of terrains, but screw it, we're going to give it a go. And what have we got loading up here? Independent Engineer Regiments. Okay, they're going to Bangkok as we speak. And the 4th Infantry Regiment should be all here now. It is. So this can come all the way south to Malacca, which is going to be handy for it. Other than that, got Air Force battalions there going down to Pontiac. That's good. Cancel loading supplies. Just kind of get down there as quickly as you can. At the moment, we've got some Sallies there, and we've got the Thalias, and these guys are doing the you know, supply drops, so to speak, trying their best to keep the troops at Osthaven, you know, available, and it is kind of happening, but you know, not the best. Okay, now then, I am wondering, do we need to do anything else? Is it because we're in a kind of middling process turn that things are, you know, just got to kind of go with whatever is happening? There is a unit there that I want to kind of finish off. We've got 3,000 troops there to go and do it. Yeah, okay. So, what we're going to do is, there's a lot of troops there. There's a lot of engineers rather than actual infantry. There is more here. There is the 11th Army. Now then, it would appear that at the moment the road towards Nanyang is pretty clear. Now we are going to be hitting Nanyang from the top, cutting off Xi'an to China. But what I'm wondering is it worthwhile sending the 11th Army also north, or do we send them towards Ishang and maybe support the 34th Division is already there, so I think that's going to make our mind up. We're going to move the 11th Army. So what I want to do is everything that isn't going to move with them. What do we need here as garrison? Nothing. Okay, nice. So everything that's not going to move, we're going to stick in. We're going to stick in strap move. Everything else here is basically the 11th Army anyway, so it's all coming with us. So set destination hex. It's going to try and cross just north of Hankow. Set all to follow. Set future objective for Ishang. And set all. And now everything should be moving. Good. And we are going to set this into move. So set all to this op mode. And they should not be moving. Good. They are not. That's what we like to see. Now then, we do have some 11th Army units here, particularly mountain guns and things like that. We also have a tank regiment here as well. So what we're going to do is, again, same as before, put these... as part of the 11th Army, they can't go into strat move. Let's do that. Don't know if this is going to work. And then set objective to the other side of Ishang. Set this for move, set all to follow, set all to this hot mode. Now, the 1st Mixed Brigade, cancel. You can stay in combat. As well as the 20th Independent Mixed Brigade. Cancel your move, stay where you are. That way, it just kind of gives us that little bit extra, oomph. And I think, the way I would see this is the 11th Army should be more than capable of smashing through what is at Ishang, although there is 200,000 Chinese troops. So we are moving 15,000 infantry, along with 16,000 other troops. We've got 335 guns. It's Xinjiang, another 150 over near, following up behind. So pretty significant movement, but obviously nothing compared to what the Chinese have. But at least if we cross the river, we'll be able to kind of harass and, at least get into the Chinese, which is our aim. Okay, what else we got going on? We should have amphibious going towards Massacre. They can dock, which would be a bit quicker for them. So please do that. We also have another amphibious here. These guys still not made it back yet. Really fuck. They're taking their sweet time. Okay. I'm going to set these on stand down for a couple of days. Just because we can get aircraft from the pool, which would be useful. Just because they're getting a little bit tired. And their, airframes are taking casualties from op loss, and stuff like that. What's the fatigue on these guys? They're generally mostly okay, but yeah, I want to kind of just sort them out. We are going to start bombarding Singapore pretty soon as well. I think we've got to that stage where Singapore is hopefully available from these kind of bombing rates that we want to do. Singora might be the place to do it as well, given the fact that, it is building up its airbase. It doesn't have aviation support, though, which is the only issue. And where we currently have a load of aviation support is kind of in the wrong spot. That's not necessarily good. Where else do we have aviation support? Probably at Kotaro. But again, I imagine not enough. No, not for what we need. There's also a load of Sallies here that we'd want to use. Now, again, these will probably be best being used in Burma, but at the moment, I think it's a little bit risky to be using those in Burma. So we need to get some aviation companies down there, wherever they may be, or at least find the bloody things. Maybe we have to move them from here. How much do we have in Saigon? 188. Okay. Now, can Sallies reach Singapore from here? 12? No, absolutely won't be able to. Okay, so what we're going to do is we go into this, form new TF, go to transport. We don't move the Notori because it's kind of fucked, but we move these guys. And there should be an AP there as well, so that's good. Okie doke. And then what we do is we load onto troops, and what we load is we load Air Force Company and an air flotilla as well as some AA regiments as well. I'm hoping that there is a base force there. There's a shipping engineer regiment, but does that actually include naval support to get this stuff off? Hold on. Yes, okay, so it does have naval support. That's fine. So, we'll move those over to here. That will give us a bit more aviation support in regards to Singora. Then we'll move the Sallies there as well. Although, is that going to be within range of Singapore? Just about. I mean, actually, is Kotabaru a better choice because it's bigger? You know what? It is. It is a better choice, not Singora. Kotabaru. But again, has Kotabaru got naval? There is a base force, which generally it doesn't actually. I thought that would. Okay, that's a little worrying. Do we have anywhere else that has naval engineers for use? I suppose we better move that shipping engineering company down. And then what we can do is next turn, I mean, Kotabaru is pretty much already where we want it to be anyway, in regards to its airfield. So what we'll do, actually we'll do it this turn, we're not fucking around. We need more pilots, so out of pilot slots. Okay. How's our ground bombing over here? Mostly okay, apart from those new replacements who are fucking awful. So, transfer to base, select on map, go to Baru. Still have it on stand down. I don't want to just suddenly explode out and then lose a load of aircraft really early. We want to take this measured and careful. These guys can get 9 more pilots from replacement. Transfer to base, select on map, go to Baru. And then we go to these guys, the 60th Sentai. Also get some pilots from replacement to make sure you've got even more pilots than you need. And you also fly there too. Okay. Now, got a lot more aircraft there. We can even put the zeros on what you call it with it. And then let us also transfer these to Kotabaru. And then what we can do is not for orders tomorrow, but in the next turn we can set all these to suddenly fly in one go. In terms of aircraft available, that would give us what? Just shy of 100 bombers. Although I don't think all of them would fly at once. Close enough to where they would be dropping all of their bombs. So they would be dropping 4 250-pound bombs, which, you know, 100 times 4, 250 kilos, not 250 pounds, is, you know, 100 tons of bombs. That seems tiny, but, you know, that is a significant amount. So hopefully that can do some damage. You never know. They're still moving towards Kuantan, which is great. All right, so I think most of what we want is happening. There's the 56th Division is also moving quite nicely. Our tankers that are moving stuff from Miri are already on the go, which is great. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here for the time being. Feeling like I've missed something out, and I'll probably get told as such. But if I have, please do. I do take your advice on, and I do, you know, appreciate all the advice that you guys give. So, you know, absolutely. If you think I'm doing something silly, I will think about it. Now, it's not guaranteed that I will obviously take that advice and follow it exactly. But you know, there is stuff that might, you know, I might look at and things. You know, I obviously want to play the game to the way I want to do things, but also at the same time, you know, it is also useful to, you get support and know what's going on. Radio transmissions at Midway. So there's something happening at Midway, and there's a lot at Calcutta. Okay. That would probably be a lot of his, British units and things like that. The Chittagong plan is still on, but we need to see what goes on. All right, so we'll leave it there. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. I will see you very, very soon. Bye.